Almost died. There we go. That was so much better. Woo! All right, we can pull like that. We can get more going here. Let's go. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day. I left my hat over there somewhere, so we're going messy hair right now, but we will throw on a hat for the workout, and we'll be back where we're supposed to be. Today, we got some snatch grip, not snatch grip, we got snatches from a block. We got 360 jumps, we got some lateral hops for our main sets, some super cat jumps today, some depth drops today, depth rebound drops today, and some single leg, not single leg, Zercher Bulgarians that are gonna suck. 4 rep maxes this week. Gonna be lots of fun. So we're gonna rip that. Had a scrimmage this weekend. We're supposed to have a tournament. Scrimmage got canceled, had a tournament. Scrimmage went well, hit the ball well. 3 out of my 4 at bats were really strokes. I loved those swings. My hits now are like would have been wow hits from every single one would have been wow hits for me in previous years, and now it's like I had 3 of them in a game, which is cool. That consistency is rising up. However, my first swing of the tournament just has been sucking, man. First swing of the last tournament sucked. First swing of the scrimmage sucked, and even if I get on in the previous 2 tournaments or previous 3 tournaments this past year that we've played, the first swing is always just the worst. Even in hit tracks, the first swing is just not my favorite. Even if I'm getting on or it's a decent result, it's not as focused or locked in. And I was talking to Kyle about that and just trying to have more of a business-like approach on that first at bat, locking in a little bit quicker. So I think I'm going to just start focusing on middle push side just to give myself some intent with that first swing of the day. And that's something that we're definitely working on, but it's kind of crazy, and something when you think about training and practice-wise, how do you build that out? Like this thing I've been thinking about a lot with BP is it's like a lot of times you just take in reps and reps and reps and reps with BP, which is great on one aspect, especially when you're a little bit behind on the reps and you just need the reps in general. But then it's like, okay, what's your first swing look like when you get to BP? Like very first swing. How is that swing? Are you getting on base? So that's going to be something I'm going to change a little bit with my BP session. And not that this is a brand new eye-opening thing for myself. I've been trying to do this, but just a little bit more intent and focus on that is when I step up for the very first swing, is that first swing is going to be a hard swing. I'm going to try and get on base for that first swing and of VP and continue to work some of those trainable aspects of sports performance. Again, that's why I think a lot of silly things that we argue about in strength conditioning don't really matter, because it's not really the issue that we're facing. It's not a technical issue in the swing. It's not a power output issue in the weight room. It's strictly just like a focus, intense, psychological issue. And I wouldn't even say, maybe 2 tournaments ago it was nerves just because we were playing one of the top teams in the nation, so maybe that one, a little bit of nerves. But this past one, it wasn't even nerves. It's just like locking in, getting the timing right, being on right away, and being that kind of spark plug in the first inning, which I think is very important. But again, you can take kind of these thought processes and apply it to any sport that you want to take it to. That's why I like enjoying talking about these things and living them in the moment, so that you guys can take them and apply them to real sports that matter, like football, the very first play of the drive. Like, what does that play look like? How are you training that in your sport? First shot in a basketball game, first swing in a softball or baseball game, in a real like college one. And I think a lot of these things are trainable and workable on if we work on the data points instead of just ignoring them. And they're workable on too, because I have a specific data point, because I have put in all the reps. Like the rest of the game is clicking, the rest of the things are working. Because I've raised my level, now there's specific things I need to go back to and kind of clean up and work on, which is the first swing approach and first swing intent, right? So just some of the things there. Pitch selection is probably another one that I got to work on. I was looking at my first swing, and it's always like the first pitch. I just swing at the first pitch for my first swing. It's just dumb. And I was rewatching the video that we had. It was just 14 feet inside. I'm like, of course you're going to suck at that ball, bro. Like, why are you swinging at it? Just dumb. So we'll continue to work on those things. But yeah, let's go lift some weights. Let's get it. Let's throw the hat on so we don't got messy here. Got this groove. We washed it yesterday, so we got nice curls coming in today. It's kind of pretty today. But yeah, let's do it. Boom. All right, then we got first this little complex I've been working on. We're like 4 sets deep into this complex, just warming up mostly, but hitting that K-dot, jump with it, so 2 jumps with it, 2 high snatches with it, and then 1 squat with it, just with this really light weight. we're pulling from these makeshift blocks. These Rogue boxes underneath, I put them together like 4 years ago, and I shit you not, these Rogue blocks, these screws are this tiny, and you just screw them in by hand. I mean, you can screw them in with a screwdriver too, but like there's nothing for them to thread into. They're just tiny as screws. So if this whole thing collapses during this lifting session, that's on me, but I knew better. But I don't know, kind of looks cool. Pulling from here. I don't think I'm necessarily phenomenal. I know I'm not phenomenal at generating force in these positions, right? I'm much better when I'm able to get into a deep squat and produce force with the quads and everything like that. So I think being able to pull from some of these higher positions is something that I can benefit from a lot on my pull, and just working on some things, treating it like that conjugate style, and making it fun. So let's go. Oof. 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 One more low one. Oof, there we go. All right, we'll get to the jumps. We'll add some weight here, get after it. Let's go. Am I in here? Where am I at? All right, so we got lateral movement jump today. We're just going feet together, bounce to the side. We got 5 of them, then we'll come back here. Trying to stay nice and bouncy here. Feet together, sack potato hops. In this position, this will be a horizontal movement jump problem here, and just working on some bounce, elasticity here. Let's go. Oh. Jumping so far, I got out of camera, bro. Then we'll hit the other way here. Boom. Woo. Nice. Those, I really enjoy those. There's not really a lot of talking I can do with those, and it's kind of tough to get them in the camera. So I haven't been recording the sprints as much. There's really not much we can record the sprints other than me talking, but I'll figure out a better way and the best way to record some of this stuff. Maybe we hire on just a full-time intern that just videos everything. We actually do have an intern on the way, so maybe he'll do some of that stuff there. Might take away from some of the rants, but we'll hit those horizontal movement problems. I don't want to wash over those like they're nothing just because I don't talk about them a ton. It's literally just because it's hard to get on camera. Those are fun. I enjoy those. Same with the sprints. We're actually going to do sprints outside today just because it's going to be 50 degrees and 50 degrees in Minnesota. That's amazing, and I want to get some sun in my life. So we'll do some sprints outside. We got those jumps. We'll go to vertical jump movement problem here, and let's go. Then we got these squatted hurdle hops. Going a little bit lower just because I want to stay in that squat. I don't want to emphasize. I feel like when I was going high hurdle, I was standing up out of the squat when I got to my jump, and it was like landing in this position. So I want to stay in this squat. We got 1 hurdle into a 360 squatted jump here, going back and forth. These are nice. Ooh, kind of weak, but we'll get there. I got to get all the way around. Dang. Spider-Man landing, let's go. Again, we could definitely push the height on these hurdles. I'm focused more, just giving myself something to jump over while staying in that squatted position and not having to extend out of it. So definitely could go higher here. I'm just thinking more, land in that squat, jump out of that squat, hit a 360 out of this. Oh yeah, cheated, but we're gonna count it. Let's go. We got 1 more set of these, so we'll come back, hit these, crush snatches, die on Bulgarians. Let's go. All right, we're gonna hit maybe 1 or 2 more complexes, then we'll get to full snatches from the blocks, or just regular snatches without the complex, and we'll just keep going until we yeet. Let's get it. Oof. 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 Ow, I just smoked my knee like a dummy. What am I doing? All right, deep one. This one I gotta get more used to, catching in that deep position. It's definitely a different thought there. Here we go. There we go. Boom, feels pretty good. Elbow, shoulder doesn't feel that bad today, actually. Top position, feels a little rough, but I think it's just because it's warming up there. see what we're doing. Bar doesn't feel necessarily super light. Didn't have the best weekend. Didn't have the best weekend diet-wise. Wasn't good. Wasn't good. We had a McDonald's shake in there. We did. Little vanilla McDonald's shake. Large. No whipped cream, but that's not a diet thing. It's just because I don't like whipped cream. Little hot take there, but yeah, body's feeling it from this diet this weekend. Yesterday was good. I had a little beef stew. I shouldn't say it that way. Some pot roast, chunk roast, whatever. I don't know. It was really good. I had that homemade meal yesterday. So let's keep ripping, but bar's not feeling super light. All right, last complex here. Let's rip it. Oof. 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 Ooh. Maybe I shouldn't drop it on there. That sounded like kind of did some damage there. Here we go. Oof. Oof. Woo. All right, keep ripping. All right, we're gonna go first set here. I forgot I have to turn down the music when I'm doing this. I might have to get some headphones. Not that I need music, but if I want to listen to music, I might have to get some headphones because I play it over. YouTube just instantly cuts me off, and I haven't been muting it. So this video is for sure going to get flagged. Anyways, got no superset here, just straight up, or no complex here, just straight up snatches. Again, that bar's not feeling unbelievably light, and this pull position is not the best for me. It's kind of crazy. Like, this is something where it's like, I do not feel tension in the bar. Like, I don't feel like the ability to produce force through the body. Like, I'm not able to generate the force that I want to generate. Whereas like a squat, but I'm a squat, I know how to generate force there. So that's why I love the skill aspect of snatch and like learning it. I like that feeling of, oh my God, you can produce so much more if you just knew how to organize your body and be able to put it in there. And I think a lot of that applies to sport. Again, if your whole background's Olympic lifting, you're going to be able to hit this perfectly. And maybe it's something like a squat that you're not able to, I don't think squat's the perfect example, but maybe a little bit of a strongman lift, you're not able to generate force in the perfect thing. I am not saying Olympic lifts are what teaches you how to produce force in all these positions. I'm just saying it's a cool tool for me because I haven't done it before and I feel like I can't use my body in the most optimal way. I can't use the force that I'm able to produce in the most optimal way. Whereas if I was going to go jump or hit a softball at this point, I can produce it in exactly the right way, right? And I think it's very similar, especially if you've ever been in a combat sport, something like wrestling, where guys got leverage, man. Leverage is such a big part of strength. Torque is such a big part of strength in athletic endeavors, right? And it's the same thing here. What are your levers like? What's your torque like? What are your positions like? And I really like that in combat sports and athletics, because now it's not only the torque and the positions you're trying to find, but you've got to get your opponent to let you get into those positions. You got to force your opponent to let you get into the position that allows you to have torque, allows you to have levers. And it's not just a straight up meathead game. That's why so many times things in the weight room fall apart when it gets onto the field, because it's not necessarily the most amount of force you can produce. It's the force you can produce in those positions, and can you find a way to get yourself into those positions? And if you can find yourself in those positions, then having the ability to generate a lot of force is amazing. And that's why you bring outputs up in the weight room. But many athletes cannot find that ability to get in those positions, and that's really where we need to work, or are unable to get into those positions, whatever it is for them. So here we go. God dang, dude. Oh, there we go. Just got to get underneath the bar a little bit faster with this pull. Don't have a ton to pull from. Got to get underneath it really quick. Here we go. Oh, I like that one. Just a little bit far forward, but yeah, get underneath that bar really, really quickly. Produce the force when we can. Let's go. All right, another set, another day. Let's get it. Ooh. Nice. Ooh. Ah, man, feels slow. Feels super slow off the blocks. Feel like I'm getting underneath it pretty decent, but off the blocks feels slow. Here we go. There we go. That was so much better. Woo. All right, we can pull like that. We can get more going here. Let's go. All right, we got Sam watching. Sam, how old are you? 7. Sam is 7, and he wants me to go beast mode. So we're gonna try to go beast mode on this weight and not suck. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh. How was that? Yeah, let's go. Really feel like on those last 2 reps, the last one wasn't as good, but the one before was sinking into those hips just a little bit more and was able to drive from there rather than being locked out with the legs, which makes sense. But again, I think that's why feel-based lifting is really, really important. Obviously, somebody helping you to feel. That's what I think our cues should be used for. That's what I think our constraints should be used for. Allow us to feel certain things, right? So this constraint forces me to get into there. If I want to pull anything more, I can't be hips back into there. I gotta sink in, sit into those hips. Same as swinging too. That was a big thing with my swing. So once I was able to coil into those hips and understand that coil and feel that coil, man, the power went crazy. Same thing there as the first time I felt that coil a little bit, if that makes sense. You okay, dude? Sam just ate it on a hurdle, but he's okay. He's a beast mode. So here we go. Let's get it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oof.
8, 9, 10.
Woo. Good stuff. Let's go. All right, come on. Last set here. Got to get underneath this bar. Let's do it. Come on. Oh, there we go. Dang. Man, like when you stick it, it feels so easy. Like it's not even that hard. But getting it to that point is such a mind fuck, man. Such like I got to break through some barriers here to get to the next level. I don't know. It's not like a squat weight where you're scared of getting absolutely crushed. It's just like the timing, man. Like that one felt really, really light, but like getting up to it, I'm like, fuck dude. Am I gonna get it? I don't know. And just throw it up like it's nothing. So gotta focus on, it's just a reps game. We'll get more reps in, get the timing down. I have been enjoying this process. So if I'm ever sound like I'm complaining or trying to come up with any excuses, it's literally just me thinking about it. I have thoroughly enjoyed the snatch process and turning random snatches into my old PRs, or what my old PRs are, I'm doing for random snatches now. So it's pretty good, but it's just kind of weird. It's like random. It's the same thing as like a softball. Like the best softballs you hit, the farthest softballs you hit, they feel like nothing. They leave the bat. You're like, oh my God, what did I just do? I felt like nothing there, and that's what that one felt like. So with some Zerchers and keep going from here. All right, call a split second change here. We're just gonna do pickups from here. Zercher split stance pickups, picking up off the ground. I haven't really done these before. Just feel. Did it goofing around, felt pretty good. So we're gonna hit these, see how these boxes hold up, and go from there. All right, other leg. Almost lost it. Those are nice. All right, keep cranking weight there. Got our depth drops yet, still cranking those out. Let's go. Set number 2 here. Let's rip. 4 each leg. Gonna be fun. Those are fun, man. Woo! All right, keep ripping those. Let's go. 3rd set here, possibly the last set, unless it's unbelievably easy, but kind of running out of mental wherewithal to be here today. So stimulate, let's get it. Oh, yeah. Ooh. All right. Come on. Oh, yeah. Woo! Those are nice. Almost died. I deserve to die. I don't really need to be dropping it. I'm gonna set it back down. I'm being a bum. Here we go. shouldn't. Woo! All right, that's more of an RPE 7. Can definitely go heavier. Just don't feel like I got that gas in the tank today. It doesn't feel like I'm ready to go fucking kill something. And I'm feeling amazing. The back is feeling kind of creaky last week. Back's feeling super good right now. I don't need to full send into this. Doesn't actually, I mean, it feels good. Felt like I got a good stimulus in. I sent the snatches, which was nice. We got some accessories here. Again, it's more, I gotta be quicker with my workouts or take a break. I'm much better if I come back here at night and then I can rip for like 2 to 3 hours. It's pretty tough for me to come from the morning session into lifting right away after. I just feel super, super drained. It's that like introverted energy. I need like 3 hours to just like chill, get my battery refueled again, and then get back after it. Whether it's introversion or extroverted activities after my morning session when I'm coaching everybody. But it's when the gym is the most empty. So it's nice to just like be able to get in and get out without having to deal with everybody other than that Sam kid. He came and hung out for a little bit. I have no idea who that is. Just parent was watching his kid. He came and lifted with me for a little bit. So, but yeah, just feel like the mental thought process of being here for a long, long time kind of gets to me, kind of drains me. It really wasn't physical there. It was physical in snatches. I was getting bodied in those snatches for sure. But here could definitely go heavier. He hit by like an 8 or 9, but I feel like I don't need to send that right now, especially early in the week. If I'm feeling pretty good. We got today's our weighted back day too with softball. So we got weighted bats today. Pretty pumped for that. We've been doing weighted bats, but early in the week, I'll do weighted bats, speed day off of a tee. And then as we get closer to game day, there'll be more live pitches, more game bats, stuff like that. So today will be a heavy rotational day with the bat, and a lot of times the next day after that day can kind of feel pretty fatigued. So we'll stay fresh here, get to some accessories, get out of here, enjoy the sun. Let's go. Last 5 of these rebounds, 35 this week, single leg, not in it. You guys know the deal. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Keep ripping those. Let's go. Then our first hip mobility exercise, we got hip accessory. We're going rotations here with the hip in this cat-cow position. We're gonna get a little bit wider and rotate in. We're gonna come back, we're gonna rotate out, just like this. We're going back and forth here. Got this from Medicine Through Movement. He's a goat. Go follow him. He's a stud. Just going back and forth. We got 100 total flosses going back and forth. Really greasing those hips up. Again, if you got creaky hips, you got hips that don't move the way you'd like them to move, start moving them, man. It's kind of the solution to a lot of problems right away. Doesn't mean it's the end-all be-all answer, but I feel like so many people, they have issues and they don't start with the simple, which is just move, sleep, eat a little bit better. We don't start there. We start with, it's an injury, it's something's wrong with me. I have scoliosis, I have hip impingement, I have whatever somebody told me. It's like, bro, you sit in a desk for 19 hours a day, you eat like crap, you're stressed out all the time, you don't move. Like, let's just move the body a little bit. Maybe it's just a walk. Like a simple walk can do a ton, can do wonders for people. Just start moving, see how you feel. Okay, you feel really good. Just general movement, right? It doesn't have to be specific. All right, then let's say it's your hips, okay? Let's get a little bit more specific. Let's start training the hips a little bit more. Let's moving them. Let's hit like 100 reps of hip movements every single day. How do they feel then? Keep the walking going. Start moving the hips. How they feeling? A little bit better? Okay, let's add in some strength training, okay? We start to strengthen the hips. Oh, now you're feeling really, really good, right? So I just think there's a lot that we control and we give up this control to say we have something. We have a disease, we have a sickness, we have an impingement, we have an injury. It's like all of these things can be totally true, but you're still giving up the control aspect of what can you do to counteract that, right? I have a herniated disc. I understand that. I also have the herniated disc, right? How can I train around my herniated disc? And more specifically, how can I train my body through the herniated disc so that it doesn't affect what I want to do? How can I level up my body so that whatever box I was put in does not affect where I want to go? And so many times it is much simpler than people think. And that's why I have a little bit of empathy for these people, because it's like, when you're told you have a herniated disc, you're told you have a hip impingement, it's one of the biggest ones. You're told you have a hip impingement. That sounds terrible, man. And you have a doctor, a physical therapist, a strength coach tell you have a hip impingement, like there's a torn labrum in there, like something's jacked up in your hip. Oh man, it's all messed up. It's like, okay, all of these things could absolutely be true. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, let's again start with the walk. How does it feel after the walk? Oh, it feels better. That's weird. Let's build on those small things, right? Take control back over your own body, take control back over these injuries, take control back over these sicknesses and illnesses. And then when we really need to get specific and we really need to use the experts, when we really need to use those interventions, then we can still use them. It's not like those interventions go away. It's not like the surgery on the hip goes away. And that's the weird thing too, because a lot of people just say they have a hip impingement and they won't even get hip surgery. Like they're not even doing anything. It's just their excuse to say they have something, right? But let's say that the hip surgery is on the table. Let's start where we can start. Let's start with these small things. And then at the end of the day, if that is the answer, then we go with the hip surgery and we get everything fixed and we get everything cleaned up, and there was no other answer. But start with what you control. It's so much easier. It's so much better once you get your body back that way, rather than having to go through the surgery and the trauma that the surgery causes physically. Like you're literally cutting open your body. There's so much there that people just don't understand. It's like, oh, I just had surgery. It's like, yeah, there's a lot going on there, man. Whereas you could have just maybe just added in some of these movements and got through it. And I'm not saying this is every injury. I'm saying you blow out your ACL, you're probably gonna have to get surgery, man. That's just the end of the day. That's what's gonna happen. I just think a lot of people say they have things and take this easy solution, this easy intervention. I'm not saying it's because they think it's easy. I think it's because they think it's scary, and that scariness can go away with an expert's hands and expert's knives. And I think we need to take a little bit more control back over our bodies, back over some of these things, and just watch what happens. And again, without losing, you never lose. Like there's no negative to doing these things. There's no negative to starting to walk. There's no negative to starting to move your hips, right? If you have some of these hip issues, because that surgery always stays on the table. It's not like that's going anywhere, right? So start here, then we go. I just have seen so many people. I know a person that went in for a back issue, was having back issues, went in on a Monday, and they had him scheduled for a surgery on a Wednesday. 2 days later. That was their first conversation about the back injury, was on Monday. They already had a surgery picked out for him on a Wednesday. That is insane. That is 2 days, bro. He heard it, I think it was over the weekend on like a Friday or Saturday, and he was just in so much pain that he went in. He's like, dude, I gotta get this checked out. Got it checked out on a Monday, right? So he's had pain. He's had the injury for 2 days. He gave the body 2 days, not even he, but the doctors gave the body 2 days to recover and heal. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying don't do the surgery. I'm not a doctor. Don't take medical advice from me. But let's just give it a week, right? Waited a week, he's like, man, it's feeling a lot better. I might just hold off on this. I'm like, all right, let's do like another week. Let's just see how it is. The surgery's still on the table, but let's just see how it is. Waited another week, he's like, dude, it feels like pretty close back to normal. Like it's feeling pretty good. I might go for a walk today. Started walking. He's like, man, it's feeling amazing. And came back, no surgery, nothing, right? Had flare-ups here and there. Everybody has flare-ups. You're gonna have flare-ups whether you have surgery or not. Had issues here and there. Had to train around it, had to train through it. But now he's at a point where he never had that surgery and is feeling amazing and is feeling better than before because he took control of it. So it's just something I'm passionate about, because I think a lot of times we fall into that trap. I'm sorry for the 15-minute rant or whatever this is, but I think a lot of times we fall into the trap when we just take control over this. Wow, none of that was planned. I was just doing hip injuries, and I was kind of worried today that I didn't have any rants. I was like, oh my goodness, today's just gonna be a straight up workout. Not even worried, but I was like, it's gonna be a quick one. You guys are just gonna get to watch the workout, but now you have to listen to me rant. So those were the hip exercises we did. We'll get to the next one. Let's go. Then we got these decline leg raises here. Grabbing onto something above us. Just working that hip flexor, core. Where am I at here? I gotta get up here. Oh, what am I doing? Here we go. Working hip flexor, core. We got 8 of them coming up. Going through. Let's go. Woo! I'm actually so bad at leg raises. It is embarrassing. I want to blame it on having big quads, but oh my goodness, bro. I'm just so bad. That hip flexor, bro. It's like even when I do leg raises, my quads take over. Like I feel cramping in my quads because my hip flexors aren't strong enough to pick it up. Continue to build that up. Continue to kind of work on these things for all the benefits big quads have. They definitely take away some of the things that I want to do and kind of way overcompensate for a lot of things that I want to be able to do. So a lot more specific, as we've been talking about, as we've been working, a little bit more specific hip flexor work and continue to grow there. We got one iso left, then we're out of here. Let's go. In the iso, single leg, Nordic iso here. We got 2 minutes, ripping it nice and clean. I'm actively pulling into that curl with that leg, and we're holding just like this. Keeping a bend back here, not trying to go straight leg. I feel like a lot of times you can get out of that hamstring if you go straight leg. Slight bend, come in here, and we're pulling. Ooh, come on. Oh, yeah. Woo! Hamstring was cooking there. It's nice. Feels like the back of the knee, just building armor into that back of the knee. If you really feel it yanking on the back of the knee, I think a lot of times that is because that leg is straight and you have your leg locked out. Give yourself just a little bit of slight more bend. A lot of times, for me at least, that gets rid of that pulling on the knee, especially in the knee that has the meniscus ACL in it. I don't really feel any bad things. It actually feels really good when you're done with it. So here we go. Other leg. Ooh, there we go. All right, a little talk ski, then we're out. Let's go. All right, that's a day. Oh, man. Going into these videos sometimes, it's, especially if I'm not like fired up, I've said this multiple times on videos, but I really got to go for walks before these videos. Otherwise, at the start, it just feels like, I'm like, brain's not cooking. Like I'm just working out instead of like, thing is, why would somebody watch? That's really what the question that was popping up in my brain today during the workout. And there's a little bit of anxiety there, but like, why would somebody care to watch this video? They care about me. That's great. Like I have people that just care about me, and that's why they're watching the videos. But what value does the video provide? Like, what is there? Like, if I didn't know me, why would I watch my own videos? I don't lift the most amount of weight, right? I'm not the smartest person in the world, right? Don't have the most credentials. Don't train the most professional athletes, right? So why would somebody watch? And I was kind of running through that idea. And I think one of the things that I provide is like the balance between the meathead and the movement yogi and the humor and all of these aspects. But I got to treat some of this just a little bit more like a job. Like I got to show up ready, you know, and trying to find a way to keep that authentic while just showing up like ready. Like you can be authentically ready. I can be authentically ready for a game. I'm not faking. I'm not being a character. I'm not doing any of that. But I'm awake. I slept well. I took my supplements. I ate the right food. You know, like I'm not showing up with brain fog, which I felt like today was like showing up with a brain fog just to start. And it wasn't brutal. It wasn't bad. I was just thinking through these thoughts. It's like, man, somebody new tunes into the channel. Why would they watch your brain fog fucking lift half the weights that somebody that's really strong does? So I think there's a piece to that. Be authentically yourself in a way that is the best version of yourself, in a way that is the best representation of yourself. Because I think a lot of times if you start treating it like a job, I think a lot of times you can get this fake professionalism on, and I can definitely go into those characters. I could do that all day long, just this fake version of myself. You can do this fake I know the answers, whatever it is, you know, these fake rants. I can come with some pre-thought out rants and some of that, but I want to treat these authentic, but I also want there to be a reason to watch, if that makes sense, other than just lifting weights, especially as I really want to branch out and do other things with this. So that was a thought that I was working on. Need to go for walks, need to clear out the brain. I mean, I'm not going to cut out McDonald's vanilla ice cream shakes all the time, but maybe just cut some of those out. We had one this weekend, again, like I talked about, and maybe that's where the brain fog came from. That wasn't the only diet slip up. We also had Blue Door, which was amazing. It was a good weekend. We were watching the Final Four, you know, like we were watching the girls' championship. We were supporting the female athletes, right? So we were doing all those things. We were doing all the great things that a coach does. Just enjoying the food, probably a little bit too much. Yeah, today we're gonna go hit some bats. We're gonna do that, and tomorrow we got upper body, We got a sandbag press. The dudes were moving some freaking weight today on the sandbag press, 4 rep max on the sandbag press. Again, I moved my lower body day to Monday because we got softball tournaments on the weekend now. And a lot of days that like Thursday, Friday is kind of a travel day or a heavy BP day, one of the two. And sometimes like the hours in the day run out, or I'm stuck in a shit gym, or we're on the move and we're traveling, and again, we're not in the greatest gym, and it's much easier for me to just rip an upper body workout on those days than hit a lower body workout. Soreness, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't love doing a lower body day the day before tournament, but I don't know. It doesn't really mess me up that much. And plus, it would be 2 days before tournament because we'd have Thursday would be the last day. Anyway, so it just frees up my schedule. Get the hard work done early in the week for myself, and then later in the week when I'm being a little bit more of a bum traveling, I can do some upper body. So we'll hit some upper body tomorrow. Wednesday will be lower body. Thursday will be upper body. Friday, I really got to figure out a posting schedule for Friday, because Friday we just come here and we play games. Like it's a 1 p.m. game day on at JST, not the official game day, but just some of my close athletes. Invite only, not really. Anybody can come. But we go at 1 p.m. and we play like ultimate for like 2 hours, and we just get a sweat in, get a bunch of sprints in, then I go BP. So I got to figure out a posting day. Maybe I do informational stuff that day. I was thinking of doing like gym equipment, talk about some gym equipment on those days, like the best balls that we use. I think that's a big piece. Like just some random piece of equipment. When I was building up my gym, I was always looking for some of these small pieces that I pieced together over the years, and I think I can do some more professional content on that and just talk about some of the pieces of equipment that we found that are helpful. So maybe that's Friday's schedule. And then Saturday we're in Rochester this weekend for, I don't want to say it because every time I say it, it gets canceled, but our first official team tournament this weekend, hopefully. Not our full team, it's kind of a mercenary team, but it's all from Minnesota, and it's like 3 of the guys from my team, so closest to a full team. And then the week after we'll have our full team. We actually have 2 tournaments the week after. We have a regular tournament and a co-ed tournament. So softball season's is about to kick off, full slate, and I'll figure out the best way to do content around that. But until we get there, keep ripping. Let's go. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping the wood. Let's go.